Hi there, Paul Thompson here. I've got a very quick one for you today. Just a really useful thing that I sometimes use to help with writer's block or just to expand my thematic material. And it's called retrograde. Sounds complicated if you're not familiar with this musical term. However, it's incredibly simple. There are a couple of different ways of doing this. It's basically about reversing your musical material. Now, there's two ways of doing it. There's retrograde of just the melody, or there's retrograde of the melody and the rhythmic material as well. Now, to demonstrate this, I have scribbled up, as you can see here, a little melody on the horn, and then I've harmonized it, or just put some chords to it. As you can see, there's lots of scribblings out. If you're not scribbling things out, then you're not either not trying hard enough or you're Mozart. Anyway, let's have a quick listen to our little tune and a very, very sparse backing. So as you can see, just a super simple little melody. Haven't done any, there's no bells and whistles. This is simply to demonstrate what you can do. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to retrograde both the melody and the rhythm. Now, there's a way to do this really simply in Sibelius, which is like this. But you can also do it in Logic with your MIDI data, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. It sometimes needs a little bit of tidying up after the fact, but it's actually great just for the purposes of experimenting with things, getting a new idea up, and then you can kind of go in and tidy up the MIDI data, or you can just extract the bits that you like and use that as new musical material from your theme. So we select all of the regions, we go to right control click MIDI transform, reverse position. Now we've got our region, our zone set, that's correct, isn't it? Yeah, 19 to 30. We want equals note, and I'm going to reverse, select and operate. So we've turned all of the notes around. As you can see, everything has now reversed its position, and I've just reversed all of the MIDI data as well. So if you can see there, it's a little bit obscured, but now we've got all of our MIDI data. Now, it is going to sound a little bit ropey because because I would probably go in and replay it, to be honest, but it is going to sound a tiny bit ropey. But let's just see what we've got. I mean, it's certainly good enough to hear what the core of the idea will be. Okay, so just checking against our retrograde score here, I'm just going to tidy this up a little bit. Obviously, the reason that this particular element is slightly off, skew-if, is because now the note endings of the previous take are now the note starts. Now, because you have to overlap the notes with legato patches, it's kind of becomes slightly arbitrary where the note starts are. So I'm just going to go through and tidy that up. Now, the other thing that I need to do is make sure that the timpani are happening on the correct place. And also the harp is going to be slightly out. And obviously it's kind of, the harp was spread upwards, it's now spreading downwards, so that would need replaying. But for the purposes of just having a quick listen to see what's going on, let's just get it roughly in the right position. Organ part looks about right. So, and finally, obviously, we need to just sort out, again, legato wise, we just need to sort out our low strings. Okay, here goes. Okay, so as you can hear, this is just very, very rough MIDI. It's obviously would need replaying certain parts of it, and you need to rethink certain things. But I hope that what you can see, what you can get from this is a very quick way of generating new melodic material from your thematic material. And so simple. I mean, it literally took 5 minutes, if that. You can use it. You can do this stuff in Sibelius if you like to not mess around with the MIDI data. You just want to look at the actual clips of themes, and you can just retrograde them in Sibelius. Or you can, if you're working purely in the DAW, you can just flip the MIDI data, have a little look at it and tidy it up and just get an immediate idea. And you might think, yeah, there's just a section of that which really works beautifully. I can take that section, maybe change a chord or two in there, but also I can use that to elaborate and to create a new theme that is related to the original theme, but is something slightly different that you can use in a different place. It still sounds kind of familiar. It's still in the same kind of world, but it gives you a new material, incredibly useful if you have writer's block when you're in the middle of a section, or just for creativity, just for generating new stuff. So I hope that's been useful and given you a couple of ideas. We will have a look at inversions in another video, but I'm just going to stick to retrograde for this one. Inversion's a little bit more complicated, but we'll come back to that. Thanks very much for watching. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.